All right. Today, we're going to do sort of a roundabout thing. Business cycles, or the business cycle. What does that mean? Have you heard that term before? The level of economic activity follows a pattern, okay? The level of economic activity means things like how much stuff we're producing as a nation, that's GDP. But that's not the only way you see it. You see it in employment. You see it in sales, okay? The economy follows regular or irregular patterns, I should say, okay? They're not all the same, but they're similar, okay? If you look at GDP over time, what you see is the trend is up. Okay, that, by the way, is what we call economic growth. Long-term increase in economic activity is economic growth. Okay, we've said that the U.S. economy grows at about 3% per year. Over the last 100 years, that's been about the average, 3% per year. Okay, but if you pick a year, like 2012, it doesn't necessarily grow at exactly 3%. Some years the economy grows faster, some years it grows slower, and some years it actually declines. Okay, what do we call those declines? Recessions, yeah. Okay, a practical definition of recession is at least 6 months of negative economic growth, 6 months of declining GDP, 6 months of declining employment. Okay, half a year bad. That's a recession. Okay, so if you look at the actual pattern of economic activity, it cycles around the long-run trend. And again, I've drawn it making the cycles look pretty regular so that everyone is the same height. That's not true. Some are higher, some are lower, some are steeper, some are flatter, but the pattern is there. Okay? This cyclical pattern of the economy is what we mean by business cycles, or the business cycle. So the question is, why does the economy work this way? We now can answer that question using the income expenditure model. Okay, the income expenditure model, this model that we've been working on for a week and a half, says GDP equals total planned spending in equilibrium. And if we're not in equilibrium, what we've seen over the last 2 days is that the economy will go to that equilibrium. Okay? And we know that spending is the sum of C, I, G, and net exports. Okay? We know that the income expenditure model is on the demand side of the economy, and according to this model, the driver of the economy is total spending. Okay? Spending moves, production follows. That's the argument here. So we can use this model to understand things like recessions and booms. Okay? Suppose we're here. No, let's do this. Suppose we're here, and this is 2007, and now we're at 2012. Okay? In between, we experienced a recession. Now, what caused that? according to this model, what caused that? In sort of the broadest possible terms. What caused, yeah?
A decrease in spending?
Yes, has to be. If this is the driver and GDP went down, it must be because spending fell. Again, according to this model. Okay? It doesn't matter whether it's a decrease in consumer spending, investment, government spending, or net exports. $1 worth of spending is $1 worth of spending according to this model. Okay? Now we know that actually it started in investment. It started in the housing market. And then it spread to consumer spending. So this was a double whammy. Investment collapsed, and then consumption collapsed because people started feeling poor. Okay, and when that happened, we found ourselves in a new equilibrium. Okay, we can draw the graph. Here's our original EP, 45-degree line. Here's where we were in 2007. And then EP fell once for investment and once for consumption. And we ended up at GDP 2012. Actually, we hit bottom about 2009. But we haven't made much progress since then. Okay? Now, Jessica, how did we go from here to here?
Decrease in spending.
Just like the quiz, exactly the same way. Yeah. Okay. What would cause the economy to boom? Increase in spending. Simple. Sort of simple. Okay, so according to the income expenditure model, business cycles are caused by regular fluctuations in spending. Okay, that's the most important takeaway from this story. Yes?
Can you repeat that? Business model.
Business cycles are caused by regular fluctuations in spending. If spending drives the economy, and the economy is going through cycles, then it must be spending which is going through cycles.